Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is a fun day. It has been a day that I have been excited about for at least a year now. We are going to plant some summerific hibiscus up on Hydrangea Hill. We are going to plant the Edge of Night hibiscus. This is a perennial hibiscus. Gorgeous, beautiful, like hot pink, almost iridescent flowers on them. They're huge. And what's fun about Edge of Night is that the foliage is a very, very dark purple, almost black. So we are going to plant them between the little limes and the firelights. I'll show you that in a minute. But here we are, just to give you a little bit of perspective. This space is behind the cottage garden and behind my garden boxes. So here I am standing in the grass. I've got the driveway right here, cottage garden. Then we have the 5 garden boxes. Look at those tomatoes. Are they not outstanding? And I just picked my first cucumbers off my trellis. I know y'all can appreciate that. And then, yeah, so here we have little limes are on the first row. I'm telling you, these little limes, they are not so little. Especially that one in the middle, it is massive. It is every bit of 5 feet, and I prune these regularly and nice and hard each late winter. So we've got those. Then you can see we have got the 5 Edge of Night coming down the middle, and right now I know they're going to look small and dinky compared to the hydrangeas. These little limes have been in this flower bed, I believe, for 4 years now, and we're on, this will be the 3rd year for the firelights. So the hibiscus have a little bit of catching up to do. That's not a problem. They're going to be on irrigation. They're fast growers, not that big of a deal. And then right now, the star of the show are these firelights. Firelights are a sun-loving hydrangea. They are panicles, and they reliably turn a beautiful rosy mauve color for us as the summer progresses. Some of them already are starting to put on a little bit of some pink hues. I think you can see maybe on this one, it is already starting to turn a little bit of pink. So they are doing great. And then down here, I do have a pink crepe myrtle. We are going to clean up some of the limbs on this because I told Jerry, I said, I love having a tree right here. I don't love this tree, but to try to get this tree out would be a nightmare because you can't get equipment in here. It's so grown up. So what we're going to do is just come in and kind of clean up some of the limbs that are preventing the sun to get to the different, like you can see with this little lime. Can you see how it's growing kind of to the right because it's stretching for the sun? So we will need to come in and just clean up and take out some of these limbs so that they are not coming over and overreaching the hydrangeas, because in my opinion the hydrangeas are the star and the crepe myrtle can just get limbed up some. So we're going to do that and get these summerifics planted. We're going to plant the summerifics first, and then we'll work on cleaning up this crepe myrtle. So stinking excited about this. So without further ado, we're going to grab the power planter, the biotone, and we're going to get these babies in the ground. Okay, so I have got the power planter, I've got biotone, and we have the hibiscus. They are spaced every 4 feet apart on center. If you're looking to create a hedge, no matter what the plant is, you will want to look at the what is the width of the plant, and then that's going to be your spacing between each plant on center, because these hibiscus will be 4 feet wide. So I'm putting 4 feet between them because from the center, this plant will come out 2 feet, that plant will come out 2 feet, and they will kiss, and it will create a beautiful hedge. We do have the irrigation line running up. Once we get them planted, I can pull it down so that these can get water. We got a great rainstorm last night, so this ground is going to be, it is going to live up to its North Carolina reputation of being red and clay and sticky and lots of fun to deal with. So I've got my hibiscus, and this hill is deceptively steep. So trying to keep things from like falling down is quite interesting. So I just come in and I'm just going to move my mulch away because I want to save this mulch. So once the hibiscus is in the ground, then I can come back and put this right back on top of it and insulate it in. So I've got an emitter right here, and I want to put my hibiscus right here so that that emitter is directly on top of the root ball. Because we are planting in July, Summerifics love the water. You can, I'm sure you can overwater them, but they do love the water. So the more water you give them, the faster and the bigger they grow. So that is definitely a key for these. These are full sun loving plants. Right now we are blessed with some clouds here in the morning, but this space does get all day sun. Nice, hot, intense sun. Again, a perfect spot for them. Now, the auger bit that I am using today is, of course, it is the Power Planter drill that I love so much. All of this will be linked in the video description and the comments below. So if you are interested in getting a Power Planter, I really encourage you to do it. We've used them for well over a year now, and just amazing products, high quality, made here in the US. Love it. I am using the 9-inch auger here with the heavy duty tip. Because we're putting in, these are 2-gallon size containers, I went with that 9-inch container, so that way, 9-inch auger bit, so it gives me a nice big hole. The extra duty heavy tip is wonderful for our clay soil. If you have clay soil, compacted soil, rocky soil, this is the one that you want to get because it really breaks up the soil and makes your job so much easier. Slow and steady is the key with this, especially when you have goopy clay like we do, because you want to go nice and slow and steady. So you can see what I'm talking about with the wet red clay. It's just the joys of living in North Carolina, Piedmont with red clay soil. Oh my word, this is goop. And I'm not complaining about the rain. I am grateful for the rain. We needed the rain, but it does make planting a little messier the next day. Biotone goes in the hole. Plant comes out of the can. Now, you will notice, there you go. All right, go play. Good girl. You will notice that I am not going to break up my root system. This plant is not root bound. Therefore, I am going to leave it alone and let it grow. Only if plants are extremely root bound do I ever break them up. This is not one of those cases. I'm leaving it alone, putting it in the ground. And then when you're planting with your red clay, like we have here, if you feel the need to amend the soil, you can use a really high quality compost. Mix like 1 part compost to 4 parts of your native soil. So very little. Red clay it has maybe a bad reputation as not growing anything. It's not true. You just have to know how to plant. So you'll notice that the root ball is not submerged, and I'm not going to put clay on top of it. I am just going to leave it. We are on a hill, so the back side will be flush with the ground. The front side will be up a little bit. It's okay. There's tons of roots that are going to get nutrients from that hole, and it's okay that the front part is going to be raised up a little bit. That's not a problem. That's why we save that mulch that we have, and we're going to come back and we're going to kind of cover up this red clay so that you don't see it. And at this point, it is just so incredibly goopy. So what I'll need to do is in the next coming days is to make sure that this has not settled and I don't have air pockets in here, because you want the roots to be in contact with soil at all times. I'm going to take my irrigation line and I'm going to bring it so that the emitter is right here. It's going to get this water. It's going to be a very, very happy plant. Bring my mulch back, get rid of the tag, bring my mulch back, hide the red clay. That way it doesn't look like anything's happened here, except all of a sudden There is a beautiful plant in here, and I do have buds already on my hibiscus. So we will get blooms this year, but I won't expect full-size growth on these hibiscus really till about year 3, and that's okay. It's not a problem. I know that technically the hibiscus are going to be the shortest ones, but that's just a design thing. I am not moving these little lime hydrangeas. As they bloom, I can come in and cut them, make gorgeous bouquets. And you have to remember, you're going to see this bed a lot from an angle, because our driveway runs right this way, and you will look up this bed, and these plants are so big, so impressive, so showy, it's not going to matter that they're the shorter ones between 2 tall hydrangeas. All right, 1 down, 4 to go. Gonna just do the exact same thing on the next 4. Alrighty, my friends, 5 of those summerific edge of night hibiscus are in the ground, and I can just imagine it in my brain how gorgeous it's going to be once everybody is fully grown and developed. So let me show you what we have here. Now, it may be hard to see them right now because, of course, they are that beautiful, have that gorgeous dark foliage on them. But I literally planted them in a line every 4 feet going down right between the center of the little limes and the firelights. So here you have kind of an up close on the plant. You can see that beautiful, nice dark foliage. You see those little bright greens. Those are the flower buds. So we're gonna have some beautiful flowers on here. Again, this year flowers are a bonus for me. I am thinking long-term with this bed. That's how, as a gardener, I think long-term. What is it gonna look like in 3 years, 4 years? It's okay for me that they're small right now. That doesn't bother me. I have waited on this plant. I have wanted this plant for a year now to be in here, and it's going to be stunning when they're nice and big. I forgot to give you an update on some other things that we have planted right here that you saw us plant. Gosh, it was later than this time of year last year. We planted 3, so we have 1, 2, 3 of the Popperloo Pink Ink Roses of Sharon. I believe that's the full name. If I'm wrong, I'll put all the info up on the screen for you, but you can see it is just a beautiful creamy white bloom with a hot pink center. So pretty. 2 of the plants were nice size when I planted them, and then I had one little tiny pitiful guy right here, so he's got a little catching up to do, but that's all right. The idea again is that these 3 will grow into one huge massive display of color. Jerry and I were just talking though. I think we're gonna have to take out this this limb right here because it comes, I'm trying not to blind you, I'm sorry. It comes right over and it is giving a little bit too much shade to this space. So I won't lots of hot sun right here. So I think that we're gonna have to limb up that oak tree. And then the other update is the lavender. So these lavender right here, there's actually 5 of them. They were planted in front of the little limes on the border. It just did not work. I kept trying to plant and plant and plant. They kept dying. So Mom and I put them here last year, and I'm very pleased with them. Of course, they're not in, you know, all their glory. This one here is on a little bit of a struggle bus, but everybody else is doing great, and I can just smell that delicious lavender smell. Even though they're not blooming, that foliage is still giving me lots of sweet lavender fragrance. So what we're going to do is come over here. I'm going to grab a couple of hand saws, or a hand saw rather, and we're going to limb up. I'm going to show you how I'm going to limb up this crepe myrtle so that we get more sunlight underneath, because that is one thing you want to do with your crepe myrtles and your other trees, is if you want light underneath them as they grow, you've got to bring those lower limbs and limb it up, bring up the canopy. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so trying to find a camera angle on this tree is a little challenging given our terrain, but hopefully you can see what I'm going to do here. So this is, it's a pink crepe myrtle. I do not know the exact variety cultivar of it. When we've got our white Hydrangeas crepe myrtles, oh my gosh, that would have been, you know, what, 16 years ago. We bought them in the fall, planted them, and then the next spring we had 2 whites and we had a pink. It had been mislabeled at the nursery, therefore it was still early enough we could dig this one up, moved it here, and then the nursery replaced us and gave us a white one, hence where we have the 3 whites out front. So I do not know what exact cultivar this is. It's a beautiful pink, which works great because of this bed. So we're going to limb this up. Again, it's not my favorite tree to be in this spot. I'd like it, but I don't love it. But I'm probably going to have to deal with it. Now, my 2 weapons of choice for today are going to be both Felco products. This is the Felco 600, and it's a great little hand saw that folds up, and then you can pop it open and it snaps. So it has the safety thing, so it's not going to fold in on you. Fantastic, really nice grip on it. It has a little hook, so you can either put a string through it. I have it hanging up on a hook on my garden shelf, so I have those. And then I have my Felcos. These are the number 2s. I really like these, nice good size. So I will, depending on the limb, either saw it or clip it. And if you are interested in getting any Felcos, if you use our coupon code GWC10, you will get 10% off your Felco order at felco.com. So go check these out. I know this is really handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole limb out that's all connected. So I go back to the base of the tree, the main limb, and I'm going to cut it there. So I'm just going to saw it off at that point. And it did rain last night, so I'm probably going to get a little wet, but that's all right. So see, that made really quick work of that, was not physically hard, and I've opened up and given more room, more light to get into this firelight. So we're gonna get rid of this big branch. We'll toss it later. And then what we're gonna do is the next one that I'm gonna move down to is really gonna be down here. This whole, this is a very interesting shaped crepe myrtle because it's very splayed open. It is not upright. That's probably was our fault when we had it small and we didn't prune it correctly. And so yeah, it kind of goes out as opposed to going up. So we're gonna get this next big one out. So these firelights, the next firelight will get more sun. This angle gives you a really nice view of where those summerifics are. So with trees are like when you have a haircut, it's easier to take more off. You can't put it back on. So I tend to be more conservative when I am trimming on trees. Okay, we're gonna start here. And technically this may not be the absolute best time, proper time to prune a crepe myrtle, but you know what? It's when I have time, it's when I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it. So there you go. For now, we're gonna take out this part. I really honestly could probably take out this whole limb. That's gonna be a little bit more adventuresome than I'm willing to be today. So if we can get the angle. There we go. Okay, so that really opened up these firelights. That makes them very happy. Get them out. Now we need to move around to the other side so that the little limes can get a little bit more sunlight. All right, my friends, so you can see that this poor little lime, it is the last one on the row, and it is by far the smallest, and that's totally because of sun. So we have got this lovely canopy here of this tree, and I'm sitting here assessing it. I think I'm going to take this whole limb out. It's a good little size limb, but it's coming over, it's starting to cover up the caladium on this end. It's totally getting this, so we're just going to go for it and take it off. Before we do that though, I'm going to get my I have a bird feeder, a suet bird feeder, so I need to get that off real quick. All right, well that certainly helped this little lime. And then I think we're gonna take out just a couple of little small limbs right here, and then we will be done. All right, my friends, so the crepe myrtle has been pruned up. Things are flying at me. It looks so much better. The plants really can breathe now and get more sunlight in. That is the thing when you're planting underneath trees. As things grow, as the tree grows, you're gonna have to constantly be in here and limbing up. And when I say constantly, I mean like once a year. There's probably more that we still could take out, but this is really what I can reach on my own without a ladder. And so the good thing is I've got so much more room here, open canopy with my little limes, and then back there with those two firelights, they've got some room to breathe. And I will just show you that the caladiums here on the end, look how this one's kind of lopsided. That's because of that limb that was hanging over it, and so the sun wasn't getting on this backside, so it was growing more forward. So that is just an example of that plants will grow towards the light. But anyway, the project for today is complete. We got those 5 edge of nights in the ground, got the crepe myrtle trimmed up. It is a great day, productive day, very happy. I will, as far as watering with these edge of nights, though they each have an emitter directly on top of them, so when the irrigation turns on, they will get water. They will do great. We did get that good rain last night. We're in a consistent pattern here of afternoon thunderstorms. I think we got like 1 to 2 inches yesterday. So the ground was nice and wet. Therefore, I'm not gonna bring water up here specifically to water them. If the ground were dry, they were dry, we weren't getting rain, obviously, yes, you will water them. Hibiscus will let you know exactly when they are dry because they will get very limp. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today, found something fun and informative. And as always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.